it's time for our
Now it's time for our favourite news stories from the past month. In at number 5, the sun-watching space telescope duo Stereo A and Stereo B may be no more as NASA has lost contact with Stereo B.
Oh no.
The spacecraft has been in operation since 2006, giving astronomers back on Earth a very special and important view of the Sun. Now, the A and B stands for ahead and behind. One is ahead of the Earth in its orbit, and the other is behind. And together they produce 3D images of the Sun, which allow us to calculate the speed and direction of solar storms, helping us to predict what we call space weather here on Earth. This space weather produces spectacular northern and southern lights, but there can also be major geomagnetic storms that can cause damage to our satellites and also power grids on the Earth. The spacecraft fault occurred after a planned system reset, and NASA are still hoping to re-establish contact with poor Stereo B in the near future. Now, there are many more solar telescopes in space, but none have the unique three-dimensional perspective of the Stereo mission. And we'll be keeping our fingers crossed for you, Stereo B.
Yes, indeed. And in at number 4, NASA's youngest member of its sun-watching space telescope family, IRIS, has been beaming back the most detailed images we have ever had of the transition region between the surface of the Sun and its atmosphere. So IRIS has spotted a great number of small flares called nanoflares that are going up to temperatures above 100,000 degrees Celsius. There may be enough energy provided by these little nanoflares to the Sun's atmosphere to answer a very big problem in solar physics, the coronal heating problem. It seems odd, but observations have shown that the surface of the Sun is cooler than the atmosphere, which is further away. The temperature of the atmosphere, which we call the corona, reaches over 1 million degrees Celsius. Really super hot, whereas the surface comes in at only 6,000 degrees Celsius. And IRIS has also spotted amazing mini tornado-like structures of hot gas just above the surface that spin at around 19 kilometers a second.
Wow, tornadoes on the Sun. That's pretty cool.
That's impressive.
In at number 3, so it seems that astronomers have overestimated the amount of dark matter we think our galaxy has. So back in 1978, an astronomer called Vera Rubin measured the rotation of galaxies. And she found that stars in the outer regions were moving too quickly to be explained by what we see. Now, astronomers have theorised that this invisible dark matter would seem to account for this very strange observation. However, Rubin's results mean we should be seeing more satellite galaxies orbiting our Milky Way than there actually are. Now, here comes the new news. Astronomers from the University of Western Australia have measured the velocity of stars at the edge of our galaxy and found they aren't moving quite as fast as previously thought, which means less dark matter is required to explain what we're seeing. This new amount is about half of what was originally suggested, coming in at only 800 billion times the mass of the Sun.
That's still a lot of mass there.
That is a lot. Now, this new research would also mean that only 3 satellite galaxies should be orbiting the Milky Way, and in fact that's exactly what we see, and they're called the Large Magellanic Cloud, the Small Magellanic Cloud, and also the Sagittarius Dwarf Galaxy.
And in at number 2, Mars has just had a close shave with a comet called Comet Siding Spring. And this comet flew past on Sunday the 19th of October and actually came close, very close to Mars, a third the distance between the Earth and the Moon.
Ooh, that's close.
And there's a whole fleet of orbiting spacecraft at Mars from NASA, European Space Agency, and from India as well. And there are 2 rovers on the surface, Opportunity and Curiosity. Images have been trickling in from those of what the comet nucleus looks like up close. And all of these orbiting spacecraft had to do a duck and cover maneuver to make sure that they didn't get too close a shave with this passing comet. And the comet was a recent discovery, only found in 2013, and it's very important we find out more about these icy visitors, as they may pose a potential threat to our lovely planet Earth.
Absolutely. And finally, in at number 1, we may be getting closer to unlocking the secrets of dark matter. Scientists at the University of Leicester may have discovered, get this, the identity of dark matter particles, and we think they might be called axions.
Axion. Sounds like some sort of Doctor Who villain.
Oh yeah, it's quite a frightening term, but I think, dark matter is a bit scary. These are theorised elementary particles that don't interact very much with ordinary matter. But theoretically, we think these particles convert into light in the presence of a very strong magnetic field. Now, this discovery came from the detection of seasonal changes in X-ray emissions from the Earth's magnetic field, because the Earth is like a giant bar magnet. And the science team reckons that axions have undergone their transformation from dark matter to X-ray light that we can see. Now, the team studied almost 15 years worth of data from the space telescope XMM Newton. And this telescope is often used to look at objects much further away, like distant galaxies. Many scientists around the world are now trying to find out the true nature of dark matter, as it is one of astronomy's greatest unsolved mysteries.
That's a big one.
So I think we should get Sherlock Holmes
Let's
to have a look at
unlock it.
this. Without including dark matter in our understanding of the universe, galaxy clusters would not be heavy enough to stay together, and the stars in galaxies would be moving around the centres of these galaxies a lot slower. Now, amazingly, we think dark matter makes up 84% of the total amount of matter in our universe, and we still aren't sure what it is.
So, space is mysterious, beautiful, but also a little bit dangerous. So I hope you'll join us next month for our new Look Up Vodcast for December.